Forests and wooded areas are perfect for breathtaking photographs, peaceful walks, and simply soaking the beauty of nature. But as the day gets near its end, the sun disappears behind the horizon, the vibrant scenery melts into darkness, the tall trees are reduced to ghostly silhouettes, the cheerful bird songs give way to unnerving silence. The whole atmosphere shifts, and an uneasy feeling creeps in. The silence becomes threatening, the darkness takes command, and every rustle, every snap of a twig suddenly feels alarming. The forest transforms into a place of darkness, shadows, and oppressive silence. What lurks in the darkness? What secrets lie buried in the shadows? And is there something terrifying that awakens in the night? These are some of the scariest and most haunted forests in the world. Cameron Park, Texas. Cameron Park is celebrated for its natural beauty. Beneath the towering trees and winding trails lies a mist of ghostly tales and paranormal rumors. One of the most well-known ghost stories is the Witch's Castle, known to some as the Witch's House. The story took place in the late 1800s or early 1900s, when a woman suspected of witchcraft lived in the woods of Cameron Park. When people started disappearing in the forest, villagers started believing that she was the cause. They formed a party and burned down the woman's house while she was inside. Her ghost is said to still roam the woods, chasing away any passerbys. This is just one of the stories of witches haunting the forest. Rumors of hauntings have been spreading around since the 1980s. This staircase of 88 inside the park is said to be haunted by a ghost who would push climbers down the stairs. Another story tells the tragic events of a Native American woman who fell in love with a man from a rival tribe. Their tribes did not approve of their relationship, and the two lovers decided to be forever together. They jumped off a cliff and fell in the river below while holding each other. The area is known as Lover's Leap. It is said that if one visits Lover's Leap around the full moon when the river is full, they can see two ghostly figures dance right above the shallow water. Epping Forest, UK. Epping Forest is located in the United Kingdom, and it's known for many paranormal sightings. Poltergeist activity is also a regular occurrence, with people reporting being pushed or touched by unseen hands. The forest has a rich history, dating back to the Iron Age. There are stories of Roman battles and Norman invaders. Bodies of murder victims were also found deep in Epping Forest in recent years. Paranormal sightings and poltergeist activity are often reported by visitors, and apparitions have been known to show themselves too. On one occasion, a ghost of a man was spotted wearing a tricorn hat and a cape, riding a black horse. Another report refers to a headless apparition of a biker seen in the dead of night. There are also claims of a troubled spirit running out in front of vehicles, staring at the driver before disappearing. A specific area named Hangman's Hill is where many reported hearing screams, as well as the ghostly image of a man being sighted crawling on the ground. Dowhill Forest, India. Dowhill Forest is considered one of India's most haunted locations. It's often wrapped in fog, and at the center is the Victoria Boys' School, where a story tells of a headless boy who was said to appear on the school grounds. The school was established by the British government in 1879 and is one of the oldest schools in India. It was later opened for Indian students too, and its history is a tragic one, as there have been numerous tragedies over the years, including murders and accidents. Although there are no written records about deaths, the rumors of hauntings remain. Nearby is a road known as the Death Road by locals, and shadow-like figures are seen slipping through the trees. Many have claimed seeing glowing eyes in the mist. A blogger from India shares her own story online when she visited the forest. As we drove away and I was staring at the darkness from my window seat, I saw a shadow moving along with us. I instantly closed the window and did a double check. Nothing was there. The school at the center of the forest is also a source of many stories told by the guards looking after it. Throughout the holidays, when the school is closed, they would hear voices of children in the dark corridors and see students where there are not supposed to be any. Randolph Forest, Maine. In Randolph, Maine, lies a seemingly tranquil forest that is home to haunted legends and mysteries. Visitors report seeing unexplained orbs of light and hearing voices echoing through the woods. In 2004, a 55-year-old man nicknamed Bicycle Larry, because he was frequently seen riding his bike around town, vanished in Randolph Forest. He used to live with a 64-year-old man who was the main suspect. The man took his own life before police could fully investigate the case. What he left behind was a voice message telling them that they can find Bicycle Larry in a brook behind his trailer home. However, despite a police search, neither the body nor the bike were ever found. This true story became a legend as visitors in the forest claim to have witnessed a spectral figure cycling through the woods, seemingly without direction. There are also those that claim to have heard someone screaming in the forest, and even the words "get out" can be heard, although never finding anyone around. Old House Woods, Virginia. Old House Woods is a haunted 50-acre patch of dense forest located in the state of Virginia. The wooded area is so thick the sky can't be seen through the tree limbs. In the past, thieves and pirates were notorious in the area, and the woods are now filled with stories of robberies, violence, and murder. One legend states that in the 1600s, a band of pirates buried their loot somewhere along the coastline right next to the forest. Unfortunately, a huge storm flooded the entire place, killing them all. It is believed that their ghosts are still roaming in the forest, searching for their buried treasure. Another story tells of the experience of a duck hunter who was hunting in Old House Woods when he saw black shapes on the forest's creek. As he aimed his gun to fire, thinking it was a duck, the black shapes shifted into the forms of several angry-looking soldiers. Terrified, he ran through the woods, back to his boat, only to find another ghostly apparition waiting for him. When he threatened to shoot, the spirit told him, "You shoot, and the devil's curse to you and your traitor breed." The duck hunter tried to pull the trigger, but his gun refused to fire. After trying and failing another shot, he threw his gun at the ghost and ran away in terror. Not just ghosts of sailors and soldiers haunt the Old House Woods. Witnesses reported seeing a female apparition in white gown who glows an unearthly pale blue. She would rise above the woods at night. She lets out an ear-shattering scream and then vanishes without a trace. More paranormal stories circle around, including a story thought to have happened in 1926, when a man reported that a group of strangers with lanterns approached him. As the group marched closer, he was able to make out that they were wearing some type of old armor. The group were nothing but skeletons. Upon seeing them more clearly, the man ran away in fear. The Old House Woods remain a source of many ghost stories and is a hotspot for paranormal investigators. Pembrey Woods, Wales. Pembrey Woods is a huge forest built on sand dunes on the Carmarthenshire coast. The Forestry Commission planted the trees there between 1929 and 1954 as part of a program to increase greenery in the area. The woods are home for World War II bunkers and stories of crashed army planes. Some of the enduring legends, secrets, and rumors about Pembrey include the stories about the hatchet men believed to haunt the forest. According to these stories, they would use lights to lure passing ships, causing them to crash on the shore and then rob and kill the survivors. To this day, people claim to have seen the ghosts of sailors from the ships haunting the coast, trying to find their way back home. Deep in the woods resides the legend of the mischievous poltergeist, a playful entity known for grabbing unsuspecting individuals around the ankles, causing them to fall on the ground. Campers who spent the night in the woods report finding their equipment mysteriously rearranged or tossed around the campsite in the early morning. With its rich history and historical sites, Pembrey Woods offer a variety of legends and stories, inviting those who dare into its depth in order to become witnesses to events that break the line between the natural and supernatural. Inside Cobb Estate, California. In 1918, a retired lumber magnate, Charles Cobb, built an estate in the foothills north of Pasadena. In 1956, the property was purchased by the Marx brothers, and that is when rumors of strange noises and ghostly sightings began. Finally, the property was turned into a popular hiking destination. Hikers who flocked to the former estate have reported a number of strange sightings, including eerie blue lights in the sky, disembodied screaming, and uncanny feeling of being followed. One of the claims refer to a ghostly apparition in chains roaming around the woods, and some paranormal investigators report alarming spikes of the electromagnetic field. It is unknown what caused the Cobb Estate woods to develop its haunted reputation, but rumors persist among hikers. One rumor speaks of a murdered nun haunting the forest, and another describes a deadly location known as Gravity Hill that has been responsible for multiple fatal accidents. Manchac Swamp, Louisiana. Located just outside of New Orleans, Manchac Swamp is considered by many to be one of the most beautiful places in the state. The swamp is also believed to be haunted by the ghost of Julia Brown. The story goes back to the mid-1800s and tells the end of a small town called Frenier. A woman named Julia Brown lived in the town, and the locals knew her for her healing abilities by using herbal remedies, as well as her skill in singing and playing the guitar. When she grew older, the townfolk began fearing and accusing her of voodoo practices. They started avoiding her, and eventually she became hateful. The townspeople would often see her sitting on her porch, singing with a guitar in hand. She would often repeat a simple song. "When I die, I take the whole town with me. When I die, I take the whole town." In 1915, Julia Brown died, and nearly the entire town gathered at her funeral. Some came to pay respects, while others to ask for a favor from her spirit. The same day she was laid to rest, a Category 4 hurricane wiped out the entire town. Many of the hurricane's victims were never found, and Frenier was wiped off the map. A mass grave was made for the few found hurricane victims, while Julia's grave is isolated away from the rest. Some believe that she cursed the town of Frenier with her song, while others think it was just a prediction. Visitors believe that her ghost now haunts Manchac Swamp, claiming you can hear the cries of the townfolk who died during the hurricane, while Julia's singing can be heard echoing through the trees and dark waters. Blair Forest, Scotland. Back in the Victorian times, this forest was the home of a coal mine and a mining town. Visitors claim an agitated feeling when wandering the forest and noticing their pet animals being scared going through the area. One story involves a family who visited the forest. Everything was normal, and they enjoyed the nature and the greenery surrounding them. But when they went back home and looked at the photos they took, one of the photos shows a figure with Victorian-style clothes in the background. The Black Forest, Germany. The Black Forest is a large forested mountain range located in southwest Germany. Historically, the area was known for mining ore deposits, and remnants of military fortifications dating back to the 17th and 18th centuries can be found deeper in the woods. The area is rich in local folklore and legends, such as the tale of a headless horseman riding through the dense trees. Another legend tells of a forest king who kidnaps unsuspecting visitors to build his ghostly kingdom. Deeper in the forest is an area known to the locals as the Forbidden Woods. It is a place devoid of wildlife, and many reported an uneasy feeling and pressure in their ears as though the earth beneath them is alive. Other stories include travelers venturing too close to the Forbidden Woods to become ill or even go insane with their hair turning white overnight. At the southern tip of the forest lies a small village where stories of the supernatural are told by the locals. One such account is the rumor of a ghostly figure with white eyes that would appear on the streets late at night, looking through the windows into the houses and then moving on, vanishing into the dark woods. The village's older residents speak of spirits of the forest who lure unsuspecting travelers into the woods. Many believe that the souls of these lost wanderers are the same figures wandering the streets, forever trying to find their way back home. The forest offers many more legends and mysteries, and many visitors describe it not only as a beautiful land, but as a step back in time, riddled with folklore and tales of the supernatural. Daring Forest, England. Also known as the Screaming Woods, is a woodland surrounding the village of Pluckley. Many think it's one of the most haunted villages in England. One legend tells the rumor of a robber who was captured, lynched, and killed by angry villagers in the 18th century. It is believed that his ghost wanders the woods near the village, watching it from the tree lines. Many visitors claim they heard screams in the middle of the night. Others swear they heard footsteps and whispers during foggy days. Rumors also persist of a black shadow following people while they are traveling through the forest. The black shadow would remain silent and even stop walking whenever the following person stops. Once the person comes out of the forest, there would be no trace of the shadow. The Daring Woods Massacre is possibly one of the most famous stories about the forest. In the morning of November 1st, 1948, 20 people were found dead in the woods. The bodies were found piled up on top of each other with no wounds or signs of violence. Many reported seeing strange lights coming from the forest on the previous night. Local authorities suspected carbon monoxide poisoning, and investigations were abruptly stopped, making locals suspect a cover-up. Another rumor circled around in 1964 about a religious cult conducting rituals in the deepest parts of the Daring Forest. It is said that the investigator who was trying to expose the cult was killed in a car accident. The stories of the massacre and the cult are ruled out as urban legends, and despite the dark, sinister reputation surrounding the area, people still visit, walking their dogs and enjoying the nature. Yawata no Yabushirazu, Japan. Ichikawa is a fairly large and developed city in Ichikawa, Japan. A small leftover clump of a forest right in the middle of a modernized part of the town sticks out like a sore thumb. Some locals believe that the small wooded area was a burial ground for local nobles. Legends say that entering the wooded area would awaken the spirits of the buried, and the trespasser would be spirited away, never to be seen again. Entry to the forest is strictly forbidden, and its legends of ghosts and curses persist within the small wooded area. Pokaini Forest, Latvia. Located in western Latvia, this forest is famous for its mysterious rock formations. To this day, the unusual rock piles remain unexplained. One proposed theory is that they were gathered centuries ago by locals in order to build a castle that never materialized. A more mundane explanation is that people gathered them while clearing the fields for farming, but still wouldn't explain why they plinked them in various poles so deep in the forest. Some consider the forest to be a healing center and the stones to be a source for mystical energy, while others treat the place with caution, believing that the area is haunted and may contain a portal to a parallel dimension. There are also claims and rumors that people get haunted by bad luck and illnesses after visiting Pokaini Forest. Some even say that taking stones from the forest would awaken an ancient curse, laying its wrath on the nearby towns and villages. Devil's Tramping Ground, North Carolina. Devil's Tramping Ground is a mysterious clearing spot located in a forest in Bear Creek, North Carolina. The place is a subject of persistent local legends and lore. The story goes that the devil himself was walking in circles in that spot, plotting against the good. It is believed that nothing grows and any objects placed would be mysteriously moved. Some say that if one visits in the middle of the night during a calm weather and listens closely, the stomping footsteps can be faintly heard echoing from the spot's center. Visitors who spend the night at the Devil's Tramping Grounds would tell experiences of strange events. Aokigahara Forest, Japan. Also known as the Sea of Trees, the forest is located on the northwestern flank of Mount Fuji in Japan. The place has become associated with suicides since the 1960s, giving it the name Suicide Forest by foreigners. In 2003, 105 bodies were found, beating the previous record of 78 in 2002. As of 2011, local authorities concluded that the most common method of suicides are hanging and drug overdose. To counter this problem, officials stopped publicizing the numbers in an attempt to decrease the cases and placed signs at the forest entry urging suicidal visitors to reconsider and turn back. Because of its infamous reputation, the forest has no shortage of rumors, paranormal sightings, and legends. It is believed to be the home of the Yurei, a ghost barred from a peaceful afterlife. Visitors driven by morbid curiosity would often find leftovers such as clothes, bags, tents, and backpacks. One story shared by a visitor tells the horrific experience of his visit to the forest. We came across a series of faint red stains on the ground, leading down further the main path. My companion pointed out the red stains, and I said that it's probably from an animal. We kept following the blood trail as the stains looked more and more fresh, thinking that someone might be hurt. All of a sudden, we saw a man standing motionless among the trees. His neck bent at an impossible angle as it had been snapped like a twig. His eyes were sunken dark and his skin pale and stretched too tight over his bones. He began to step forward towards us, moving with a jerky, unnatural gait. That's when we saw a woman following behind him, crawling on all fours like a spider, her limbs twisted and broken in horrifying directions. Her face was a nightmare. Her lower jaw was missing. Her eyes were wide, almost eager. We ran away as the two horrific figures followed us. Eventually, we managed to lose them. This was part of a story shared by a visitor, although it was ruled out as fiction. Many have similar stories to share, and even if we consider the paranormal stories by visitors as made up, the forest doesn't lose its horror. Just the thought that one can easily become a witness to a morbid sight is enough reason for many to decide not to visit and completely avoid the Aokigahara forest. Wychwood Forest, England. Wychwood is a 1,240-acre forest in Oxfordshire, England. The area is very rich with history dating all the way back to the Roman Empire. In the past, the forest covered a much larger area. At some point, parts of the forest were cleared for agriculture, villages, and towns. After that, these parts reverted back to wooded areas. Wychwood is also no stranger to legends and rumors. Probably the most famous legend involves Lady Amy Robsart. It was presumed that she died in 1560 by falling down the stairs, the circumstances of which have been suspicious. The legend says that her ghost appeared to her husband in Wychwood, predicting his death within 10 days, which came true. Some say she still roams the forest, manifesting to visitors and predicting their deaths. Another legend includes a ghostly horse-drawn carriage, often carrying weeping children. Some say that should one see the ghostly carriage, they should stay silent and not make a noise. Otherwise, the children would stop crying and begin to stare at the noisemaker, haunting him for a few days. The legends of hauntings don't stop there, as reports of hearing whispers, footsteps, and visitors feeling hands on their shoulders are often shared around the locals. Paranormal enthusiasts often visit Wychwood Forest, and its notorious haunted reputation and rich history offers a vast variety of chilling experiences. Ballyboley Forest, Northern Ireland. Hidden deep in the rural heartland of Northern Ireland, Ballyboley Forest has gained a chilling reputation that draws investigators, curious visitors, and thrill-seekers alike. The history of Ballyboley Forest is tied to ancient Celtic rituals and early days of pagan worship. For decades, reports include ghostly encounters and unsettling occurrences. One of the most chilling encounters happened in the 1990s when two men ventured deep into the forest. They began hearing odd noises and footsteps, but when they looked around, no one was there. As they approached a corner, they saw 4 shadowy figures standing in the middle of the path. Terrified, the two men fled, but the shadowy figures followed, vanishing into thin air as they reached the edge of the forest. Beyond the ghostly apparitions, Ballyboley Forest is also linked to mysterious disappearances that date back centuries. Legends say of villagers who vanished deep in the forest, never to be seen again. Visitors have reported a strange sensation of time slowing down or losing track of hours entirely, as if the forest is caught in some kind of time distortion. Some paranormal investigators believe the energy from ancient rituals has disrupted the natural flow of time, creating a hole in reality. Adding to the mystique are the stone circles and unusual rock formations hidden within the forest. Locals have warned against disturbing these stones, believing them to be cursed. Several visitors who dared to touch or move them reported a string of bad luck soon after. These stones are said to hold powerful energy, and many believe they act as markers for interdimensional entities traveling between realities. Some suggest the mysterious stones could be the key to unlock all the secrets of Ballyboley Forest. Freetown State Forest, Massachusetts. Freetown State Forest has become famous as one of America's most haunted forests, with its 5,441 acres of ground. The area's history is infested with centuries of tragedy, crime, and ghostly encounters. It is believed that the source for the forest's haunting dates back to the 1670s, when a tribe was massacred by colonial invaders. But the violence was not only tied to history. In 1978, a 15-year-old girl was kidnapped and her body was found bound to a tree deep in the forest. her murderer was caught and convicted in 1996. The woods were also used as the location for satanic rituals in the 1980s, where animal mutilations were found. Other incidents include unsolved murders, suicides, and traps, like wires strung across trails in order to severely hurt bikers. Hikers have reported hearing screams, believing it's the screams of kidnapped victims. Others report hearing ghostly laughter, and another urban legend tells the rumor of a hitchhiker ghost who haunts the Route 44 near the forest, appearing and then vanishing with laughter. Some reports and rumors describe humanoid silhouettes seen often walking through the trees or running alongside cars before vanishing. UFO sightings are also reported hovering above the trees, and there is even a documented incident in the 1980s where the Air Force chased unknown lights flying above the forest. The infamous dark history still has a grip on Freetown State Forest, and it remains a hotspot for paranormal occurrences. Hoia Forest, Romania. Hoia Forest is a 3 square kilometers wooded area located in the northwest part of Romania. Remnants and ruins of some of the oldest settlements were discovered, believed to be established around 6500 BC. According to legends, the Hoia Forest is a hotspot for paranormal phenomena. Many ghost stories and urban legends contribute to its popularity as a tourist attraction. Hundreds of people who visited have said that they left with burns, rashes, nausea, and other unexplained symptoms. The forest is named after a shepherd who went missing in the forest with a flock of 200 sheep. Hoia came to international attention in 1968 when a military technician photographed what he claimed was a UFO hovering over the forest. Many people who live near the area refuse to set foot in the woods. Some claim to see strange light anomalies on the edge of the tree lines at night, while legends of spirits of murdered farmers who lost their lives ages ago circle around the local population. Visitors claim to have seen ghosts and faces that appear in pictures that couldn't be seen by the naked eye. Other phenomena include electronic devices malfunctioning, and even memory lost from witnesses. There is also no shortage of disembodied scream and whispers. The mystery of the forest even piqued the interest of scientists who did a soil investigation there, but nothing indicated the lack of vegetation. The strangely shaped trees make the place even more eerie, and when the wind blows through the branches, skin-crawling sounds are heard, almost as if the forest is whispering. One rumor includes a 5-year-old girl who got lost deep in the woods. A big search was organized, but unfortunately, she was nowhere to be found. People lost hope, but 5 years later, after she vanished, she showed up again, alive and well, wearing the same clothes on the day of her disappearance. She couldn't recall anything about the past 5 years. The Hoia Forest is open for the public, and visitors can freely enter. Locals urge people to be cautious when wandering inside the forest. Skeptics say it's all just urban legends and ghost stories, but the forest's reputation persists, and it is even featured in numerous media, shows, and top haunted forest lists.